What's up? All right, quick recap from yesterday. So once again, Polymarket was right. Lowered the rate. Powell lowered the rate 25 basis points. The futures market does not lie. All right, the power of blockchain. What was interesting that Powell said was quantitative tightening will end in December, meaning money printer go burr, money's going to start getting printed. It's funny though, because he says that on one side of his mouth, and on the other side, he says no rate cuts are projected for December. So whatever, that just doesn't make sense to me. All right, other thing, earnings yesterday, Google, Meta, Microsoft. Quick impressions. I didn't listen to the calls because I don't own any of those stocks. I have owned Google and Meta in the past, but I don't own them now. Meta, Microsoft did not fare well, which we know these big tech behemoths are having a hard time pivoting to AI. Google, on the other hand, interesting. Google is surprising me with their AI kind of pivot. You know what I mean? So they did $100 billion in revenue. Okay, $56 billion of that was search and ad revenue, so pay-per-click. I guess that was up 12% year over year, but the pricing's up like 7 to 10%. So it's really like 2 to 5% growth. I don't know, man. Like I see AI eroding that. So definitely, that's a vulnerability for Google. They are pivoting to Gemini. I don't know if you use Google services, you're seeing Gemini all over the place now. I personally, as a quote unquote power user of Google Sheets and Google Docs, I hate how they just stick it in there and it's popping up all the time. It's starting to really annoy the hell out of me, to the point that as soon as somebody builds a better platform, I'm probably going to bounce. You know what I mean? And my revenue that I pay them every month for the Google Workspace and YouTube Premium will come with me to another provider, right? They're just shoving it. And I get it. They're pivoting to AI. I'll give them credit though. They are they are doing it, right? They're doing something that the competition is not, and that's why the price is going up. The rest of their revenue is subscriptions and then Google Cloud. Google Cloud revenue was like 30 billion for the quarter. That is the sneaky AI play, I think, right? Data centers, AI needs data. That's it. That's the play. He who has the data wins AI. He who has the power, the electrical capability to power the data will win AI. And that's what makes XAI so amazing, right? Grok's platform, because they have Colossus 1, Colossus 2, the biggest AI data centers in the world. And Google has Google Cloud, huge, right? You need the compute power to power AI. So if I'm going to look at Google as an AI play, I don't love Gemini. I just think it's just another LLM. It's not that great, whatever. But, they're doing it, so I'll give them that. They have people baked into their ecosystem, which will naturally cause adoption. So that's kind of a win there. But I think the real AI play on Google is the Google Cloud, right? And that's all of the compute power that they bring to the table. They're up there with Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services, right? So interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Am I a buyer of Google? I'm getting intrigued. I got to be honest. At 300, I don't love it. I think, from here, right? You can look at it and say, all right, if I bought it at 300 and it goes to 400, okay, I make $100 a share. That's 33%, right? But Tesla's at 450. I think the odds of Tesla going up $150 to 600, which would be a 33% bump, are greater in the short term than the odds of Google going up $100, which is a 33% bump to 400, right? So I don't think I'm a buyer here. I think if, and if there's another tariff incident where the whole market comes down, I don't think I would buy Google then either. I'd buy, like I did last time, I'd buy Tesla or Nvidia. But something weird happens to Google. I don't know, Gemini tells a guy to jump off a bridge and he does it. Now there's a big lawsuit and his market overreacts and the stock drops 20% in a day while the rest of the market doesn't. I might be intrigued on that one. That's what I would be looking for. Something crazy like that to create an entry point, right? But as of right now, hey, props to Google. They're pivoting. They're a bureaucratic behemoth of corporate, whatever, autocracy, whatever you want to call it, right? But they're pivoting to AI, and you got to give them credit, and they're set up well. Microsoft should be able to do the same thing with Azure. They're not. Meta is totally just like screwing the pooch. They're just throwing billions at it, and it's just not working. You can see it in the stock prices. All right. So this is my recap from yesterday. That's what it is, guys. That's AI, crypto. That's my vision for the future. Take it easy, guys.